I'm Haley from Gallifrey Public Radio, a Doctor Who fandom podcast and part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 402 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on May 10th, 2020. We do have a full house today. I'm Chris. Joining me as per normal, the massively bearded one, Anthony Bachman.
Goddamn right.
And also the man who lost his beard in a bet, one Willie D. Nelson.
Technically, it was just a goatee.
Yes, but you were shorn alive on the air.
Yeah, that was how many years ago? Jesus.
Oh, like 3 or 4?
Yeah, like never gonna forget about that one. Years.
Why would we forget about that?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. 2016. Fools betting their facial hair on weak-ass sports teams. I mean, Cam Newton's not a bad quarterback. No, he just wasn't a Super Bowl champion. Who were they going against again?
Broncos.
The 3-time Super Bowl winning Denver Broncos. Yeah. Okay. First team in NFL history to lose it 4 times, but then somehow come back and actually fucking win one. And then they won 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's teams that have never won a Super Bowl have never been to the Super Bowl, right?
It's a short list now. I think there's like
probably
maybe 4 or 5 franchises that have never been, much less.
And let me see,
but it's very few.
What's the one of the youngest franchises there who's already been there? What, 2 or 3 times?
Ravens.
I would say the Panthers because they've only been there for 25 years.
Here you go. To give you the metric, there are 4 NFL teams: the Browns, Lions, Jaguars, and Texans that have never appeared in the Super Bowl. The Lions and Browns,
I'll give a pass on Texans.
The Lions and Browns both won championships prior to the NFL merger in 1966. Now, bear in mind, Jacksonville's only been around since 1995 and Houston since 2002.
Yeah, because the Texans, I think, were the last expansion team.
Yeah, and this is the new Browns, by the way, because remember, the old Browns turned into the Ravens.
And then they got the Browns back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the entire franchise, the Cleveland Browns, moved to Baltimore. The people that own that team moved them to Baltimore and changed the name to the Ravens. And then Cleveland was pissed and ended up getting somebody else in there with a new team, and then they basically just went back to being the Browns. But it was a brand new franchise.
Weren't the Texans once the Oilers?
No, it's the Titans.
Oh, yeah, Titans were the Oilers, yeah.
The Titans were the Oilers.
So the Texans are just brand new.
Texans
are
an expansion team. That is correct.
Yep. Yeah, the Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Titans, and then Houston got a new team. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
I mean, I want to know how much these owners have, like in money wise. Like, how rich are they?
Hundreds of millions.
Look at the guy that owns the Rams. That's why he was able to move them again and then build a new stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're worth it.
He really rammed it home, didn't he?
Yeah. Hundreds of millions. You have to be a multi-millionaire to own an NFL team, and basically you also have to be white and approved by the other owners.
That wasn't a sexual joke, Chris. But wait, you got to be white?
Ramming it home, pretty much.
No, just because the name of the Rams. He instead of ran home, he rammed home.
I wasn't sure.
That's all it was.
I wasn't sure if you were going that route, so I figured better safe than sorry when it came to hitting the funk guitar button.
All right, I can see how it can sound sexual, but I did not, surprisingly, mean it.
The one time you didn't mean it. Chris is right though. Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
Oh, I got my beard comb coming. It needs to hurry up. This shit's getting crazy.
What? Don't you have a comb?
Yeah, I have a comb, but no, it's a heated beard comb to like kind of straighten the hair.
Do you hear this, Chris? We have a hipster on our hands.
Damn right.
Fucking hipsters.
Where's your bowler hat, however you fucking pronounce that damn
Or
hat
your
thing.
paperboy hat.
No,
Ooh,
no hat.
I just got a Newsy hat, a paperboy cap today. in
See,
Animal
that's where it
Crossing.
is. He's got my hipster hat. Willie's got it.
So we're going to get you
All right.
one of those Kangol hats then, right?
Animal Crossing.
Sam Jackson is the only human allowed to wear Kangol hats. That's just a rule.
Donald
What
Faison
is a
and Scrubs.
Kangol hat?
It's the hat that Sam Jackson wears.
I'm trying to. What is it called again? A Kangol?
Kangol.
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 G-O-L. Yep.
I don't know. I can't really get in on beard conversation. The clipper guard was set incorrectly, so my beard is
I was
awful short
wondering.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing.
I will say it is kind of nice having the short beard again for a little bit because my skin gets to breathe the air much better again.
I was gonna say, yeah. When the camera turned on this, where I was like, "Oh, Chris got a little closer to the trimmer today. What the hell?"
That was on Friday, or I don't know. Time has ceased to have any real meaning. I talked about
Yeah,
it.
days don't matter. I have trouble remembering which morning we do the podcast because, like, wait, what day is this day? This day that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
anymore?
I talked about on last week's show how I know what I need to do is my alarm is set to go off Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. If my alarm doesn't go off, I know I don't have to go to work. That's really what it comes down to at this point in time. So if the alarm goes off, I go, okay, it's time to go to work. In about 45 minutes, I start my work day. It's delightful.
Let's see. At this point, I haven't gone to work in 3 months. So yeah, I don't know what fucking day it is.
Yeah. But today
Yeah,
is-
my admin leave that turned into unemployment. Yeah, I'm just lost. Days mean nothing.
But today is Sunday. It's also Mother's Day, so call your mothers, everyone.
Yeah, I gotta
I
call
have
our
a-
moms.
I have a thing today. I don't know why.
A thing today.
I don't know. It says I put something in the calendar here on my phone, and I don't know why.
What does it say on your calendar entry, Willie?
There's no title. It just says Sunday, May 10th, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m.
Willie's getting strippers.
I mean, I wish.
We're going to be sitting there, and then at 12 p.m. my time, you're going to hear. And then you're going to start hearing music. It sounds like this.
So not 12 p.m. my time, but your time.
My time is your time.
It's our time, baby.
Oh, I see what you did there. So, Willie,
Smooth
we
it
got
just like a silk.
we got 26 minutes until those strippers come knocking on your door, is what I'm hearing here.
Come and knock on my door.
Well,
We've
go.
been nude for you.
Oh, it just keeps getting worse.
I'm just excited to get strippers on the show because it'll be a first. Sorry, Steven, in advance when we get taken off of YouTube.
I don't care. Yeah, let's have strippers. It'd be worth it.
I mean, I can make that happen, Captain.
We need to
I
stream.
mean, if you really want it.
I'm sure if I really dug into it, I could find a way to live stream to RedTube or Pornhub or something like that.
They'll take anybody. But no. I mean, as long as your definition of strippers are very loose.
Define
anyone who
a
does-
loose definition of strippers for me, Willie.
Anyone who makes a house call, would you really consider them a stripper?
I don't
'Cause
think you're supposed to use the word loose when you're talking about strippers, anyways.
I think that's the only term you can use.
I don't think they like
I'm
that term.
kidding. That's not how women's bodies work. I know this.
Liberty
Bachman's
Dude
being
says
the
we're going to have paint
chauvinist
strippers
pig.
show up, so it's not going to be very fun for us.
Pink strippers?
Paint strippers.
That's a
Oh
different-
man, I'm getting high on some paint strippers.
Woo!
I left the lid uncovered, baby.
Oh God, here we go.
I can see it now. Why isn't Willie on the show next week? Because he forgot he left the paint stripper can open and lit up a cigarette in his house. Woof.
Burn the world down.
As he lights another cigarette. I was really hoping we get the whoosh.
Oh, that Christmas tree's been long gone.
The one that you superplexed off your porch.
Did you say superplexed?
There's a suplex and a superplex. There's two different things.
What's a superplex? Is that the one where you just hold it up?
I think
Off the
so.
top rope.
Or off the top rope, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yours would be more of a superplex considering it was off your deck to the ground.
Well, I mean, I didn't go with it. Does
You
that
don't
matter?
have to necessarily. I don't know. We're getting into technicalities here that I don't understand. But the image
that's
that we
all.
have painted here is Willie suplexing a tree off of his front deck.
Oh no, that tree was painted. It was painted white for some stupid reason.
How long did it sit outside after you suplexed it out there?
I don't know. I drug it over to the woods and made it go home to its family.
Willie's like, it's still out in the woods.
Could be. I don't know. I just drug it over there. That's the landlord said, I don't care. It's woods. Woods is woods.
I remember when you showed that to us and everyone was like, why is it spray painted white? We were very confused.
That's what the ex-girlfriend wanted. So
I just assumed it was
that's what she
ectoplasm.
bought. And I just had to go pick it up. I was like, all right, I didn't even want to go pick it up because I didn't want to carry a damn tree up these fucking stairs.
You should
Plus, I don't really care.
You should just be like, trees here, and just gone back upstairs and played video games.
I don't usually want trees, decorations. I don't really care.
I don't tend to do it either.
It's annoying, and it's just something you got to put back up after a short amount of time. So what's the purpose? What's the point? Function over form.
Liberty Dude's asking, was it flocked or spray painted?
I'm going to say spray painted because I don't know what flocked even means.
It's that fake snow in a can stuff that people spray on artificial trees.
I don't know.
Builds up a layer of white to make it look like it's got fake snow on it.
It was all white, so I'm guessing it was painted white. It came like that from the place.
So according to southernliving.com, flocking refers to a synthetic dust or powder that you can use to achieve the look of a Christmas tree with snow indoors. Christmas tree flocking spray and self-adhesive powders, which people apply themselves. Yeah. So
what website is this again?
Southernliving.com.
All right, so they have a definition for flocking. Do they have a definition for fluffing?
I'm not going to check that because I don't think I want to know the answer.
You know what fluffing is. Don't even deny it.
Thank you for the follow, Tippy. Over on the mixer side of things. Because we do stream this
strippers,
live.
not mixers.
That's great. We do stream this live in a variety of places using the Restream.io app. So we are on Mixer, Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube today. So we will be using the Restream bot to try and make chats go across all domains. But if for some reason you don't see that working, please come on over to geeks.live and you'll be able to find a chat room that actually propagates like it's supposed to.
Yeah, propagate.
And now you know. And
I stopped listening.
Is half. God damn it, Willie.
That doesn't surprise me.
Knowing
at all.
is half the hassle.
God damn it, Willie. I don't even know what to do with you other than just hit the fucking button.
There's a
there
button.
it is.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Sorry, everyone. Willie got me flustered going into the news of the week, and I cursed. But this is the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down in our minds what some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news is to have popped up here in the past week or so and share it with you guys who are watching live. I would toss things to Willie right now because I'm sure he has in-depth thoughts about the Xbox 2020 vision that they showed off about the Xbox One Series X. So, Willie, let us know how you feel about the Xbox now.
I did watch it. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be the same with PlayStation games when they do show it off. I don't really see a big graphical improvement.
Here's the thing. I don't know how they showcase a big graphical improvement when they stream something on the internet at 1080p.
But I mean, even just gameplay looks the same as now.
Some of the ray tracing stuff look pretty cool because you get different light and shadow effects that we can't do, but those aren't things
Can you really see it that much, though?
And that's the thing right now, is I don't think you can see a ton of it. It's an interesting tech demo thing, but I look at it from my perspective and I go, this does nothing to make me like, oh my god, I have to buy a new system to play this. I go, my current system's fine.
Just to make sure, if you were talking about, I only saw the thing where it showcased like a lot of the games.
Yes, that was the event.
Okay, just make sure. Just make sure that's I fast forward through a bunch. It's like I don't care about this game. What is this? Okay, I just get enough to get like what it looked like. I was like,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla looked pretty cool, but
wasn't that just a cinematic?
I think so. Still looked pretty cool.
I doubt that's in-game character models.
I would have to go and look what it says on the little text at the bottom of the screen. I'm assuming it might be. I don't know, but it's interesting doing these tech demos. I'm curious to see when Sony starts doing them. This is not me getting into fanboy wars. I just want to see what Sony does in comparison as well.
And you heard me at the very beginning. Yeah. I said I'm sure PlayStation's going to be the same way. I'm not.
Meanwhile, Nintendo's like we've barely hit the half. We haven't even quite hit the halfway mark on the Switch's life cycle. So we're not even thinking.
We just went HD last gen.
Yeah, I know, right?
We were like, 10 years late to the party for
We
that.
still don't even have the cloud fully figured out. So what do we know over at Nintendo?
Hell, Sony's handheld beat HD graphics before Nintendo's home consoles did.
Liberty Dude in the chat room says, "Don't you have to buy a new system because there's a new system?" There are some people of that mindset. I, however, am not one of them because there's no new game that is exclusive to the next gen that makes me go, "Oh my god, I have to play that." At this point in time.
Well, I mean, if you want exclusive games that are awesome, I mean, Xbox not where you go. You go to Sony for that.
Sony hasn't even announced a bunch of stuff though for PS5.
I'm just talking about their IPs.
Right, and also remember, Microsoft's made a big point of saying that there aren't any exclusives for the new Xbox. They plan on having them work across generations currently. So the only difference is graphical improvements and load times. So that's not enough for me. Now, I sort of get the model they're getting at here. They're trying to get to the one Xbox ecosystem, but at the same time, that makes me go, I don't really have to rush to buy anything new because there's nothing that says if you want to play Halo Infinite, for instance, you must be on new Xbox.
And you know what tells me this? It pretty much says that the Xbox is going to be kind of dated by the time it comes out, because if you can already get the game on PC, you buy it once and it goes to both, right? Are they still doing that?
Well, so any games they have that, any Xbox exclusive games, so like Xbox Game Studios and things like that, I believe they are doing that way. So like Gears of War.
Well, that's what I meant, first party. Yeah, of course.
But for instance, say you wanted to play the new Cyberpunk game or whatever, if you bought it on your PC, that doesn't mean you can play it on your Xbox.
I mean, we can always talk about how you can customize your genitals on
I did see that on there. Willie, tell us more about customizing your genitals in Cyberpunk.
How are you going to be able to customize your genitals? What are they talking about? Just like the size? Because you can already do that on Saints Row 4.
No, in Saints Row 4, that was adjusting your sex appeal.
Which was just increasing your dick size or tit size. That's all that was.
Jesus.
There we go. The first thing I pull up on here when I write Cyberpunk 2077 is an article from PC Gamer. Cyberpunk 2077 features customizable genitals. Followed up by an article from Collider. Will feature adjustable genitalia size.
Like piercings or something? That's it? Just the size of it? That's it? That's the...
I'm trying
to...
Can you go the full Ruxin? Can you have giant meaty clackers?
I don't know.
Actually, you could even do it in what's that? Conan Path of Exiles? That Conan?
Yes.
The Barbarian game.
Yeah. You could adjust your dick size in that, or you couldn't see it in console, but PC, you just had your big old dick just flopping on down.
So in the summary they wrote when they were discussing the customization and some of the other things that led to it being rated M, they said players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals, the summary says.
I better be having fucking LEDs I could put on there.
Let's see. We do know that CD Projekt Red ditched the binary gender options last year, changing the character creator to emphasize body type instead. The ESRB description suggests that the developer has followed through on that approach, but to what exact degree, we don't know. The summary also says that characters will be able to select the size of their genitals. What this actually entails is anyone's guess, but it could resemble Conan Exiles, which had a dong slider to adjust the length of your penis.
All right, yeah, I want more than that. I want to put like LEDs on my junk, because you know what? Where's the red light district? It's in my pants.
You just want to put a runway on your dick, is what you're saying.
Are you talking about shaving a runway?
No, I was meaning LED lights to resemble a runway on your penis.
Oh, blink.
Yeah.
Blink. Blink.
Like running lights.
I was about to say, I can't really do that because that just look weird on me.
Oh, that's where he draws the line. I see.
No, you got hair everywhere, and all of a sudden you have a bald spot with like a little strip. Like, that just looks fucking weird, man. And hair everywhere else.
Landing lights.
Weird. This is like eyeballs with the nose.
Okay, this is kind of cool. Continuing into how that rating description occurred, it says in here, characters use handguns, machine guns, rifles, and explosives during frenetic firefights with humans and cybernetically enhanced enemies. Players can also use melee weapons like wrist-mounted blades, enhanced limbs, to stab enemies or in some cases dismember them. Yeah,
well, no wonder it's rated
M.
Well, you have to remember, this is America, where you can shoot everything you fucking want to kill, but we don't want to see dick. No dick. You see a dick? Oh no, the children. They got if they're boys, they got a dick. They already know what a dick looks like. Am I wrong? Tell me one
Maybe.
person who's never seen a dick who is, of course,
Helen Keller.
I'm sure she felt a dick or two
You said see a dick.
by accident.
Yeah. That's
You
not the
said
same as
see a
seeing a
dick.
dick.
I
It's
just
the old, how
won.
are you? Oh, whoops.
Yep. She never
You
saw
got a
a
big
dick.
hand.
I just
Chris is-
won.
Chris is right. She never saw a dick. Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
That's such a great answer.
Are we going to start doing Helen Keller jokes now?
Hey, on a side note, also, they did confirm
Eh.
again Cyberpunk 2077 will feature no microtransactions.
Thank God. I mean, although CD Projekt Red has never really been doing that ever, have they?
Not
They've done
that I know of.
DLCs, but oh, so I can't do a microtransaction for personalizing my junk. No diamond stud piercing. 99-cent add-on.
I'm sure that you could probably find some customization way to do it. I don't know how customization works in there. You might be able to get the Prince Albert.
Or I don't know if they're still called that, but just get dermals on my balls. So little spikes just sticking all around them.
Ow.
I don't know. Is it still dermals? I know dermals. Those were called dermals when someone got pierced on their chest.
I never knew any of these things.
I don't know all the terminologies, but you get what I mean.
I don't. That's the problem.
No, it's just what the terminologies is getting pierced. I know those are dermals. I don't know if it's called the same thing. Or is it just the area? I don't know. There's like three different types of piercings in the nose, isn't there? 4 or 5, maybe. I don't know.
How the fuck am I?
There's
gonna
different
know?
terms
Pardon my
for it.
language.
Like the
Yeah.
septum, and I don't know any other names for them. Don't show me like this. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's why I wanted you front and center on screen.
There we go.
No one wants that.
Well,
Don't make me stand up, Chris.
I was not
No.
going to ask you to stand up, Mr. Nelson.
Pants are never an option.
I'm aware.
No
I mean,
standing up.
are you guys wearing pants?
Pajama
Nope.
pants.
Exactly.
I mean, pajama pants. What do you consider pants? Do they have to be like a jean material to be pants, or do
They have to be
pajama
longer
pants
than
count as
shorts.
pants? Or are they long pants? Give me your definition of pants so I can figure out whether I meet that definition, Willie.
Can your dick stick through it without any encumbrance?
Well, any pants your dick could stick through if you don't zip the fly or button the fly.
Yeah, that's a weird qualification.
That's-
That
Yeah.
is an encumbrance. I'm talking about like these boxers just have a flap just opens right up.
Your boxers don't have a button on them? Because like all mine do.
No, I don't think I have. I think I may have one or two that have a button.
Yeah, like every pair of boxers I have has a button on the front of them so that your dick just can't go flinging around if you're not careful.
I'm sorry, your boxers just want to stop you from just having some good old quickies.
Oh, Jesus.
If it's yourself, does it still count as a quickie, Willie?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
Well, I mean, depends on how fast you do it.
Gross. Oh. We totally went off topic of this Xbox conversation. Did we have anything left on the Xbox reveal?
No. We're straight on topic of the sex box.
Oh, God.
Sex box Series X.
Do we have anything left on the Xbox conversation?
What's the name of it again for the new one? Is it Xbox Series X?
Xbox Series X.
Jesus Christ. I'm getting so confused with Series S. Is that what that one was called? Xbox Series S?
There was an S model or something like that.
That's
I can't remember.
I'm getting so confused. All these weird, their naming convention. They need to fire some people. Hire me. I'll come up with better names, man.
Give us some better names right now, Willie.
I mean, that classical, especially with Xbox One, it could be the Xbox 1080. That was a much better name than the Xbox One.
Willie, why are we going to call it 1080 when it's at 4K resolution?
Why did they skip the 720 then?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, go back to 720.
Liberty Dude in the chat room says the Helen Keller sex box.
It doesn't know if you're touching it.
That's a callback.
It's non-responsive.
So, Willie,
Yeah,
give
you
us some
can't
more
go straight
naming
to
ideas here.
1080. You can't skip the 720.
Give us some more, Willie. What do you got?
Next box. That's even better than Xbox Series X. It's stupid, but it's better.
You're not doing a really good job of getting hired here because none of these names are really killer.
But they're better than what they already got.
Are they?
Honestly, is
Are they?
Nextbox not better?
How about this? How about the Xbox 2?
So and this is like what, the fourth one?
Yeah.
The fourth one at Xbox 2. Also, it's part of the prequels. That's right. Xbox and Xbox 360 were like, were the originals. And then you have Xbox One and Xbox 2 being the prequels.
At least they'll all be better than the sequel trilogy.
And then the fifth one could be the Xbox 3D.
Also, they're going to be late to the game with VR.
There you go.
I don't even think they're getting into the VR game from anything they've said.
Weren't they going to try? What was it called? Where it was like more of the augmented reality.
There was,
I can't remember what
they had
called.
some stuff on augmented reality, which was
That
never
dropped,
really.
didn't it?
Yeah, but they were using that more for like a training tool and things like that. They showed like a Minecraft demo off, but it was never slated for the Xbox. And there was a rumor they were going to partner with Oculus to do something as well because they're bundling Xbox controllers with Oculus headsets right now.
I mean, it would give you a reason to actually use the Kinect.
They don't even you can't even buy a Kinect anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not impossible to.
No, they don't sell the Kinect.
Do the new models even have the connection for
No,
it?
you had to get the adapter kit, and the adapter kit goes for big bucks on eBay right now because there's not a ton of them out there. And there are no games that use the Kinect anymore.
So the original Xbox One that got released, you were forced to have a Kinect.
Yes,
Now you can't even use it.
correct.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Why? What
But-
was even?
Do you know how many years it's been? Well, bear in mind, there's also been a management change and a philosophy and how things should be handled differently.
Oh,
on
Talking about
I
Bill Gates
wonder
is still
why.
over it, isn't he?
that. No, Phil Spencer took over the games division, and
I know. I was just messing.
yeah, I think you and I have both said on this show before that Phil Spencer is arguably the better choice out of anyone they've had there, and a lot of his opinions are things that a lot of folks can agree with, which is I just want to be able to play a game wherever. I don't care what system and stuff like that.
I said that.
Well, I think you might have echoed my sentiments when I said something like that.
My
at one
memory
point
is
in time.
terrible. My memory is really terrible. I could have probably said that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
but
it sounds like
I know
if
your memory is
that's what it
terrible,
said,
Willie. But
yeah,
this
I'm
is
up
that
with it.
part of the show when I ask you, what's your news of the week?
So my news of the week is that Elon Musk named his son something fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So it's just Kyle. Is that how it's pronounced, right?
I have no idea how it's actually pronounced.
I think it's a weird X and then that AE that's attached and then 12.
I don't know.
And I forget
It's
what
Elon
else.
Musk. He's a friggin' nut job, man.
It's true.
So go Kyle, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I hope you don't divide by 0.
Oh, let's move on to a different news topic then. I will go.
Mine's that we're talking about? Fine.
Well, we are.
Fine.
The gag was we already sort of did it with the Xbox reveal, and then I tricked you into doing another one because your memory sucked. Just saying. Just saying. Let's talk Star Wars because
Super Saiyan?
that's what I like to talk about on occasion. This is some pretty
okay.
cool news that came out this week. I don't know how much Willie is going to care. We do know, Willie. Let me ask before I say we do know. You did watch The Mandalorian, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
so
enjoyable.
Willie did watch The Mandalorian, and you heard that ringing endorsement of him saying it was enjoyable. We've heard a lot of rumors of things coming for season 2 of Mandalorian. There's been the rumors of Rosario Dawson appearing as Ahsoka Tano. Now there is another.
I don't think that's a rumor anymore. That's an official cast.
still not officially confirmed.
Is it?
Not
I thought
officially
they made that
confirmed.
officially.
Nope. Even Rosario Dawson has not officially confirmed it.
God damn it! They need to get on that shit.
We did find out who else will be appearing in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And let me make sure I say his name correctly. Oh crap! I clicked the wrong link.
Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto will be back.
He's gonna fist ya.
No, returning
his saber.
in season 2 to the Star Wars universe is Tamira Morrison to play the role of Boba Fett. Excuse me. If you're not sure who that is,
Yeah.
he played Jango Fett in the prequel trilogies, who is the clone father of Boba Fett, who is arguably the
mean
father
Jango Fett?
of all the clones.
Yeah, he's the actor who played Django in the prequels,
Yes.
who they then cloned to make all of the clones. So he's all the clone troopers when they showed the faces of them as adults. Which means that when Boba grew up to become Boba, the actual bounty hunter, he would look just like his dad because he was a clone.
Right. So he
So
will
the
be
same actor is coming back.
Yes, and he will be reprising his role. He will be returning to the Star Wars universe, but not in a role he's been in before, because it'll be his first time in the suit as Boba Fett, who was previously portrayed by Jeremy Bulloch back in Empire Strikes Back, who we never really saw Boba's face at that point in time. They did say this is probably only going to be a one-off appearance for Temuera Morrison, rather, as Boba Fett, something they kind of teased earlier in Season 1, because when Ming-Na's character got killed, the character that came up to go investigate her death, we just heard, spurs clinking. And the only character we know of in the Star Wars universe that wears spurs, well known at least, Boba Fett. So a lot of people were theorizing that might be Boba. That was the clinking noise you heard as he was walking up.
Yeah,
he had spurs.
He did.
He's a badass. He's a cowboy.
All right.
He's a weird clone kid that saw his dad get decapitated in front of him. Leave him alone.
Right, Bon Jovi.
So he will be returning to play the role of Boba Fett.
On a steel horse he rides.
They have not said any of the other roles he could be in as, because he is a clone.
Yes.
And the clone troopers all look like him. So my personal headcanon / theory is
Rex.
Captain Rex and Ahsoka could show up during part of this, because this could then lead into the Rebels spin-off, which is Ahsoka, Sabine, and one assumes Captain Rex going to go look for the lost Ezra Bridger in the unknown regions. That would be cool.
The last Padawan.
If they used this to spin off into the let's go find Ezra story and find out what happened to Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn. No one has said this is what's happening. This is my own going, ooh, I wonder if they're going to do this, because it would be really cool to see Captain Rex appear in live action again, because technically they retconned the appearance of a trooper on the Battle of Endor to being Captain Rex.
Yep.
Oh, is this like Spider-Man was in Iron Man 2? Is it kind of like that?
Very similar, because there's a character.
I don't like
similar, but they made it work better.
Yeah, they made it work better. There's a character.
Oh, you mean it actually worked?
Well, it's not the same actor in 1983's Return of the Jedi, obviously, but in the the Rebels cartoons, as Rex got older, they made Rex look like that character you see in Endor in 1983's Return of the Jedi, and that's how they set it up.
In return, during the fight on Endor, they have one of the rebels has a big white beard and really dark skin. Like he's a tanned older gentleman. He looks like he's in his 60s, but he had a big white beard. So in the cartoon Clone Wars, as the troopers were aging, they changed certain aspects of them physically. So where, different like Fives and Rex and all the different troopers started differentiating themselves a little bit. And they made it to where Rex ended up growing the beard. So in the cartoon, he looks just like the actor that they had said, oh, this might be what one of the clone troopers grown up looks like. Because the clones didn't all die just because the Empire ended.
And
like, there's still clones out there.
And Dave Filoni kind of wrote it so that was Captain Rex on Endor then.
Yep.
What do you mean they didn't all just die? Like, what do you mean, like the aliens and Avengers? They all just died when that portal closed for some reason?
That's because they were a hive mind. The clones were not a hive mind.
They were a hive mind.
No.
Yep.
The clones were not, though.
When did it ever say that in the movie?
Why did they have to? Well, they referenced it sort of to an effect, something like that. I can't remember when.
Well, all I know is you kind of disappointed me a little bit in the beginning, because you said it was Boba Fett. And I was like, ooh, is that Baba Yaga's cousin?
I misspoke. No. I apologize.
Because we all know who Baba Yaga is.
Who's Baba Yaga?
The Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga.
John Wick.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were talking
about. I thought it was going to be his cousin.
I thought you were talking about Baba Man for a second.
Baba Man.
Baba Man.
Willie doesn't know about the Baba Man and his equip monk.
It is equip monk.
Is this a League reference?
It's from the League.
Baba Man. Gonna come in his Baba Man.
It's ringing a very tiny bell.
Gonna bring his equip monk.
Continuing on the theme of Mandalorian Season 2, though, we do know that Rosario Dawson rumored to appear as Ahsoka Tano. We do know Temuera Morrison supposedly, although Disney hasn't confirmed this, Hollywood Reporter and various other sites are reporting that Temuera Morrison's going to appear. And we do know some of the directors we're going to have this season. Robert Rodriguez being one of them, who tweeted a photo of himself and Baby Yoda. Ant-Man's Peyton
Reed. A photo of himself and the galaxy's greatest star, the child.
Yes. And we do know that, Taika Waititi did say he did not have the time to direct an episode in season 2 of The Mandalorian, so he will not be returning. And I believe Dave Filoni in an interview said he only directed 1 episode of Mandalorian season 2. So we know 3 directors that have accounted for 3 episodes of season 2 so far. But it should be interesting.
Yeah, but we also know that they do kind of a round table directing thing. If anybody's watched the new, I can't remember what the new series is called, but it's showing all the behind the scenes work of the directors for season 1 of The Mandalorian. And even though they each got to focus and do their own kind of story on an episode, a lot of times from what they're showing, most of the directors were there on set. Like there was a lot of times where they're showing 4 or 5 directors on set, even though one of them is in charge of that episode and one of them is making the main decisions. Like they were all there to collaborate. So it's basically like a committee of directors are there, but then they each get to have the focused like storyline during the episode that they're in charge of.
Correct. There's a fairly strong writer's room and roundtable effect that's gone into play on that one.
But yeah, I started rewatching it again. I'm 3 episodes in, and goddamn, that show's good. I just watched the Bryce Dallas Howard episode, which is basically the Magnificent Seven, where they defend the village from the ATST and fucking introduce Cara Dune. And fuck yeah, Gina Carano is so awesome.
Right?
The Magnificent 2.
Yeah, it's basically the Magnificent 2.5. Because they got the child sitting back there chewing on frogs and drinking some bone broth.
2.5 Yodas? Which one's Charlie Sheen?
No, there's no Charlie Sheen in Star Wars.
Don't say that. You don't jinx
Tiger
it.
Blood.
Yeah, there's no tiger blood.
That'll be his name in Star Wars. Tiger Blood.
that would work. That's his Star Wars name is Tiger
There's
Blood.
tigers in Star Wars? Tigre blood. There we go.
Yeah, Tigre. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
don't-
excited
don't-
to see a
don't
Robert
accent.
Rodriguez directed episode of The Mandalorian. Like, I mean, for the guy that started with El Mariachi and now he's directing Star Wars on TV, like, holy shit. Like, that dude's career has spanned from the smallest budget possible to literally the biggest.
I mean, my favorite is still From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, Dust Till Dawn's great. I'm just saying, I mean,
Oh, no, gosh.
like,
I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
huge thing that, like, Kevin
his peak
Smith...
to me.
Yeah, like it's a huge thing that like Kevin Smith did this movie for $27,000. It's still, I think the actual budget, I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but like apparently the budget of Mariachi was like 10 grand or like 7 grand. Like it's something indescribably small that he made an action film for and has since used, you know, like he's got his group of people just like Quentin where like there's all these actors that are always around Robert Rodriguez movies. We got fucking Machete and all the fucking Spy Kids films and it's awesome. And then they did the actual Machete movies and then fucking, you know, the Sin City movies. Like Robert Rodriguez has done all this crazy stuff, but now for him to be in, I mean, there's nothing other than the Marvel universe. What's bigger than Star Wars? Nothing has lasted as long and has expanded as much as Star Wars. Like it's the biggest universe ever. And the fact that like Robert Rodriguez, this small independent filmmaker who basically just made fun films with his friends and built a career on it, like and recasting his friends over and over again and just having fun. Like Robert Rodriguez seems like he's one of those guys, he's always having fun when he's working on a movie. To get him on the set, and it's just, you know, him and Dave Filoni comparing cowboy hats. That's really all it was. I mean, it's just those two sexy bitches in their cowboy hats. But like, yeah, to see Robert Rodriguez on the set of a Star Wars show, that's fucking awesome. Like that's someone covering the entire expanse of the film industry in his career.
I just want to know when Danny.
Smallest budget movie ever, and now the biggest thing ever.
I just want to know when Danny Trejo is going to show up now.
As I want to see some Machete.
I was
Machete.
behind on some of the stuff I've been watching. He was on Top Chef last week as one of the guest judges, and the gimmick was for the quick
He's
fire
got
challenge.
Trejo's tacos.
Exactly.
He's got
And
Trejo's tacos.
That was
yeah.
the gimmick for the quickfire challenges. They had to make him tacos, and the only cutlery tool they could use was a machete.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they were doing machete tacos for machete.
Oh, that's
This is a little, that's a little
No,
overboard,
that's
I would say.
awesome.
No,
That's fucking awesome.
it was hilarious. It was hilarious. But that wraps up my discussion on Star Wars. Let's toss things over to Bachman. What do you got for us?
All right, we got one small bit of news, which is not shocking, but they did do a Andy Alo put out a tweet. I mentioned her last week talking about that new Amazon show Upload. They did announce that Upload has got season 2. Big shock. It did really well. Andy Alo is the actress that plays the angel in the ear of the Arrow's cousin, Robbie Amell, who was Firestorm on the CWDC shows. He is now the main character on the show Upload. But yeah, they announced they got a season 2, which was really cool. And then I was checking out her Twitter profile to look at the announcement for season 2, and she also put out the Prime Video actual Twitter account changed their bio to say Andy Alo brought back pixie cuts. Next question, because she has a pixie cut in the show and she looks damn good. But the other big news from this week for me was Apex Legends Season 5. We got our launch trailer and our gameplay trailer. They have finally shown like the finished stuff for Loba, the new character that's being introduced in Season 5.
Lobo?
Loba.
Oh.
Female wolf.
Why can't we get Lobo? That'd be better.
Fuck Lobo.
DC would sue them.
And Lobo's a punk. Stylish,
that's the point.
sophisticated, and resourceful. Whatever Lobo wants, she takes. Good luck stopping her. They introduced in the gameplay trailer, she has the ability to translocate, where she basically throws her bracelet wherever it lands, she then teleports to. We don't know exactly how that's going to work in game or how many charges you have, but it looks really cool the way it was done in the game. It shows during the destruction of Skulltown, during the gameplay trailer, Loba and Pathfinder jump off a cliff. They turn, and Pathfinder uses his grapple to pull himself back up to a ledge. Loba takes her bracelet off, chucks it up on the ledge, and then hits a button on her gauntlet, and she translocates to where the bracelet landed and pops up out of the ground. So having a character that can actually basically teleport in-game is going to be able to... It's going to mess with the meta a bit, mess with some stuff, and make it hard to see when someone's coming at you sometimes if you're playing against a Loba character. And then it showed her use her battle staff, where she's got a staff with a wolf's head on it, which appears to be her ultimate ability. She stabs it in the ground, the staff opens up and sends out an electronic pulse, and then creates a field. She reaches into the field and pulls a gun out. And so apparently her staff is going to have the ability to access all the supply bins within a certain area. So instead of having to go around and open each supply bin and loot each bin, Loba is going to be able to basically open up some type of interface on her staff ultimate and I guess shop, for a better sense of the word, and just pull out the weapon she wants from any of the bins without having to go to them. So we don't know how that's actually going to look or work in game, but it looked really cool in the video. And honestly, in some of the big areas where there's lots of loot, if you can just have a central location, because we also don't know if if your teammates will be able to use it. So if it's somewhere when you land in an area after your ability is charged, if you go to a new area and you can just put an item down and boom, your whole team can access every gun in the area. Like that could be a huge change for like having to, move your team around and keeping stuff together. So it's definitely going to change the meta. They're introducing, of course, another season 5. Season 5 will have a new battle pass, 100 levels of skins, Apex packs, charms, all of that. It'll be character skins, gun skins. They showed a new bearded look for Mirage, which looks kind of cool. They got a kind of steampunk looking Bangalore, which looked nice. And then a new they had a Mirage shooting a new Wingman skin, which looks really cool. Then they're also introducing the 4th ranked series. So ranked is always one behind the main season. So we get ranked series 4, and then they're introducing quests. So part of Loba's storyline is she went to Kings Canyon, the original map, and as she's trying to find and destroy the main brain that's actually used to recreate Revenant every time he dies, because Revenant killed her parents. She goes to Skulltown to kill him and basically blows up a giant lab underneath Skulltown. So the entire Kings Canyon map has now been changed as Skulltown is now under construction. Skulltown's gone. There's a huge crane system. Another area that looks like it's over by the radar stations has been turned into a giant like energy siphon. The whole map looks completely different. Like this, Skulltown being gone is going to make a bunch of people happy and a lot of other people sad, because Skulltown was the hot drop every time you played Kings Canyon. Like there was always craziness going on there. But there's in the new energy siphon area, it looks like it's like a big like nuclear silo. And from what it shows in the video, any character can go up to it, click a button, and as the thing charges, your ultimate gets completely filled in 15 seconds. So in the video, it shows that Gibraltar walk up to it with no charge. He hits the button, the little energy tower comes down, fires off, and then his ultimate charge goes bing, 100%, and the Gibraltar turns around and chucks his full Gibraltar strike on the whole team. So yeah, they're changing the meta. They're changing different weapons or no different weapons, but the way different abilities are going to be used. Like all of this stuff's going to be new. It starts on Tuesday. Is season 5's the 12th. The 12th. So yeah, I'm super excited. The trailer looks awesome. The new character looks great. Apex has just been kicking ass. Every time they add something, they keep balancing. There's been a bunch of buffs and nerfs. Like of all the games I've played, Apex has been the best for like responding to their community and just making sure that they keep basically everything on an even playing field. Like right now, Gibraltar still feels a little overpowered, but like anytime something is like really crazy out of whack with their game, they're really fast to get it fixed. And so it's been really fun because whether you have a good game or a bad game, like going back into Apex, you can reload, and now they've made duos permanent. You can always play duos. This last week, they've been doing the Battle Armor event, which started the first 3 days. Everybody had white armor and a P2020. The second set of days, everybody had blue armor, then purple, and then was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before, they started the last part of it, which everybody dropped with Evo armor. So everybody had armor that could rank all the way up to rank 5 if you got enough damage. And so it was one of the things where they're changing the Battle Royale where there's no RNG because everybody has a gun and everybody has armor when you drop. So there's no dropping and getting instantly killed because you can't find a gun. And then everybody practicing with all those armor levels went up until, now everybody's dropping with Evo armor. So if you and your whole team drop and the other team just shoots at you better than you can do, like you end up getting killed and their armor powers up. So then they're even in a better situation to fight the next team. Like it's made a huge difference the way the game plays. And we've had a couple of really good matches and a couple of really bad matches, but it's been damn interesting the whole time. So yeah, with season 5, there's going to be a bunch of new changes. And then, I'm just looking forward to it. May 12th, Fortune's Favor. They're introducing Loba. And I know for a fact, like, there's going to be a bunch of Loba mains because the character looks so cool. And in the video, at the end of it, she gets Revenant. And it looks like they're using her finisher. She takes a P2020, puts it under his chin, and says, "You should smile more," and then pulls the trigger. And forever, I saw a bunch of just a big flash of fucking things going up on Twitter. For every woman that's been told to smile by a man, seeing a female character murder the robot that killed her parents and telling him he should smile more at the same time was fucking hilarious. I loved that shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Tuesday. I will be playing a whole lot of Apex this upcoming week. Season 5 and the Battle Pass, or the Battle Pass for Season 5 and the Ranked Season 4. And the whole new Kings Canyon map. This is now the 5th version of Kings Canyon. So they keep changing shit, and it keeps getting better. I'm going to be having a fun week with some more Apex.
Boo.
Ooh.
Oh, you shut your face, Willie.
Why are you?
You're not going to be on, because he's not going to be on DVD.
I already finished all of my killer challenges, and now I need to work on some survivors. But you haven't been on the last 2 nights.
I've been on the last 2 nights.
Ooh,
I'd see you
we got
on.
a rift.
I mean,
A
I was
fracture in
on
the fellowship.
earlier yesterday, and then late last night I was on. I checked for you weren't on.
I did go to bed at a normal time last night. So when I checked, you weren't on. I finished watching an episode of Mandalorian. I went to bed by 11. So
The fellowship is fractured. I see how it is.
yeah, well, you can't trust a dwarf.
I need to get back into Apex. All sounds like there's
Wait.
some pretty cool stuff.
Who's the dwarf?
Oh no, I hit the wrong button.
Who's the dwarf in this situation?
I'm not saying.
Yeah, it's only my pants, baby.
But yeah, I mean,
dear.
yeah. If you ever enjoyed some Apex, I'd say pop in again for Season 5 because once the new map starts and every team you face is going to have a Loba on it, so it's going to be fun. And they hinted at but didn't guarantee, but we pretty much know. In game, there are different voice lines that happen depending on who's on your team. So when you squad up with 3 people, the 3 people you choose depends on which voice lines you hear in game. Like when you click an item and tag it for a teammate, like if it's Lifeline or somebody else, they'll just say this gun here, 301 here, Mozambique here, whatever. If you do that as Bangalore, you get like, Eva 8, no need to short pump a stroke because it's an automatic shotgun. Like she has different lines for that. In the game, if you have Revenant and Loba on the same team, you're gonna get different voice lines, and apparently you're gonna get different lines if Revenant and or Loba kill each other in game because they have an actual history of wanting to murder each other. So yeah, the voice actors apparently got to have some real fun with these characters because it's going to change situationally. If you have a Loba and a Revenant on the same team, you would think they really wouldn't want to work together, being as that he murdered her parents. Like basically, it's an awesome character because this chick is basically, it was described as Catwoman with Batman's origin. Like she's a thief whose parents were murdered by an assassin. Like, this is going to be a cool-ass character. And the whole quest thing apparently is also going to introduce more lore into the game. So, I love the fact that they, one of the things I didn't like about Overwatch was you had all these great characters, but you didn't know anything about them. And so, they're like, oh, well, we'll make videos. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you guys made videos, but it's nothing in-game. The in-game lore of Apex has actually been going this whole time. And it's been awesome because, like, when there was the whole fall of Kings Canyon and the kaiju monsters came through, like they introduced Watson, which was the character whose dad built the fields that kept the island safe. Like they've done a great job just increasing the lore and the background and the information about all these characters as they're going. Last season, season 4, they did the whole Bloodhound thing where you got the whole origin of Bloodhound, and then the Bloodhound Town Takeover was this awesome event where you fought Prowlers, which are these creatures from the Titanfall universe, which now also in Season 5 are going to be part of the quest system. So when you go to look for these hidden items that Loba's trying to find in Kings Canyon, you unlock loot quests or loot boxes. They're quest boxes that come out of loot bins where each person can only get one a day. And every 5 that you get unlock a quest that you can do to get 7 pieces. And there's like 45 of them to unlock all throughout the season. And then the quests are actual PvE quests that you can go with your squad to do something that's not the Battle Royale. It's another separate game mode to where you go look for these items and you fight the Prowlers again to try to unlock like hidden items that Loba's putting together for, what is it? The quest of it's information about someone that's being referred to as the Broken Ghost. So like all this lore, all this storyline, and it's just a Battle Royale free-to-play game. Like, it's so awesome that all this shit's in a free-to-play game where any of the stuff that you spend money for doesn't help you win. Like, it's fucking, I love it. Apex is fun as shit, and it just keeps getting better.
Look, you have a thought there, Willie.
Boo that, motherfucker!
You think I have a thought? That's your mistake.
That's true.
All right, that is my mistake.
Who's the fool? You're the fool here.
You know what else is also my mistake? Indulging Willie and bringing back a segment he asked me to do this week.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
I'm protected all the way in, baby.
That's right, Willie did ask that we bring back Unprotected Advice. So we're going to do it. But there's only one this week because I forgot about it until we started the show. So I only had enough time to grab one story. So my apologies in advance, Mr. Willie Nelson. For those that are unaware, this is that point of the show where Willie uses his lifetime of experience in a variety of different things to offer some advice to people that are having problems in life. Willie gives his advice, then we chime in with our own opinions as to whether we think Willie is accurate in his suggestions or whatnot. And this is all real stuff we find on Reddit or on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. So are you prepared for another installment, Mr. William D. Nelson?
I'm always prepared.
All right. So the title on this one is My 24-year-old female boyfriend, 28-year-old male, hooked up with his best friend's wife, and it makes me uncomfortable. Are you ready for this one, Willie?
I have questions already, but I'm ready to hear the story.
Let's get the story out, and then we'll see if we can answer that. The poster states, my boyfriend hooked up with his best friend's wife a couple times back when they were in college. The three of them are completely fine with it now and hang out. But I am nervous about hanging out with them because it makes me uncomfortable. My boyfriend means the world to me, and I know he's the one. He completely understands how I feel and wants to help me feel okay, but it is important to him I one day feel comfortable enough to be around them because his best friend is like a brother to him. I'm not really sure what to do. I want to feel comfortable and know this happened years ago and meant nothing. My boyfriend's relationship with her now is 100% platonic, and he's never made me feel like I wasn't the most important thing to him. I know this is a me problem. How can I overcome it? And she did post an update later, an edit that said, "Thank you to everyone who commented. I really appreciate the advice and perspectives. It really helped me to see things more clearly. I'm going to meet them soon, and I will try to get to know her more. I know this was the past, and my boyfriend has always been open and honest with me. So I'm going to let it go and move forward. Thanks again." But Willie, what would your advice be for how she feels comfortable with the fact that her boyfriend previously, years ago, hooked up with his best friend's now wife? It doesn't seem like this was a matter of he cheated on.
Yeah.
It seemed like they hooked up and nothing came of it, and then his best friend and her got into a relationship.
That's what I'm gathering too. How to overcome it? I mean, especially, I would say, so she hasn't met the best friend or his wife yet? This is what I'm gathering?
That's the implication, because it says, "I'm nervous about hanging out with him because it makes me uncomfortable." And then
how long have they been dating?
It does not say in here. It does say at the end, "I'm going to meet them soon, and I will try to get to know her more." So the implication is that she has not met them.
That would be the key right there. That's the missing piece, is to meet them, and that's what you need to gather from that.
I like
that's
Liberty Dude's advice in the chat room. It says, "Sounds like she has to have sex with the boyfriend's friend. Even it up."
That's not how
that
work.
sounds like cheating,
Yes.
especially if the other way wasn't cheating.
I'm not being serious here. For comedic purposes, it made me laugh. But
you know what? Screw it. Let's just be swingers.
I mean, in all seriousness, I can get where this girl might feel a bit apprehensive, but it's a past relationship that is seemingly years ago. It's one of his exes, for lack of a better term, or someone he used to hook up with. If they're not together now and there's literally nothing going on between them, and if his best friend is like his brother that's married to this woman, I really doubt anything's going to be happening.
I mean, I have some friends that are in a similar situation, and they get along A-okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
I kind of get the feeling, and this is not me being disparaging, this is something she might have built up in her head so much about what it had been in the past that it kind of spiraled out in her own mind as to what all it may have been before. And when they finally get this opportunity to sit down and actually have a conversation, it might not be as bad as her imagination has led her to believe it could be.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that happened with my two best friends. One of them dated someone in high school, and then because of friend circles and this being a small valley, that girlfriend ended up marrying our other best friend like 15 years later. Like, you know, they're people that knew people, ended up being the same group, and like my buddy's like, "Oh, this is my wife," and my other friend's like, "I used to date her."
But you kind of have that awkward laughing moment. But I haven't been in this situation, but I would assume it's been a while. People grow on, life changes. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
And unless her boyfriend still has feelings for that chick that are unresolved from that time, there shouldn't be a problem. Because if that chick is now with the other guy, apparently she doesn't have feelings for her boyfriend. So,
and the
unless he's got unresolved issues.
Yeah, and the way she describes it in the post is this best friend is like a brother to him. So one would think if anyone should have a problem, it'd be more the best friend who's like, "You banged my wife." But if it was before they were even together, I mean, it's more of one of those, "Oh, I guess we're Eskimo brothers now."
Yep.
I mean, it kind of sounds like this is like a brand new relationship, right? Because I mean,
the way
you
she
never met
describes
your
her feelings for
boyfriend's best friend
makes it seem like it's not. But the fact that she's never met his best friend before makes me think it is. So I don't know how long the relationship has been. I'm scrolling through the comments right now.
Either that or like they like moved away.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of.
So,
and even then, that should be even more security.
Some additional context. Someone asked, "Can you identify what makes you uncomfortable?" And the original poster said, "I just start to imagine them together and hurt my own feelings." That's why I say I know it's something I need to come to terms with. It's not because I think he still feels anything for her. I feel very confident in our relationship. I just don't like the idea of having to hang out with someone who he's been with intimately as much as we're going to. But then I think about how his best friend must feel knowing his best friend and wife have had sex. He's completely content with it now, so I feel like I could get to that place. So it's just weird right now.
Yeah, it's just something to just get over it. Like, deal with it, get in the situation, see if she's, a cool person to hang out with.
All right, let me put in some personal spin on this. So we all know I had an ex-wife, or I have an ex-wife, and she's a, let's just say, cunt of a woman.
Jesus.
And let's just say she has met someone who I've been intimate with, but at the time, it was years and years ago, and she couldn't get over. She was just always jealous for some reason, even though there was nothing going on. Don't be like my ex-wife. That's my
always
advice.
a good one. That's always a good one. Don't be like Willie's ex-wife.
Yeah, she's a horrible person. So don't be like her. If you ever act like her, be like, wait a second, I need to not act like this. That's probably key.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where she just got into her head too much on this one. It sounds a little awkward at first, but it's one of these things that happened, which is his best friend eventually met this woman, they got married, and it's, oh, I used to have sex with your wife before you were even a thing. This is weird. And I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure
weird.
I'll
give you that.
I'm sure there was a moment of weirdness for the two guys as they
definitely.
realized, well, we're Eskimo brothers now, and you're married to the woman that made us Eskimo brothers. This is strange. But I think you're all adults. You just acknowledge that it's odd and move on. Especially if there's no lingering feelings or any thought of him being like, oh, I'm occasionally the third in a threesome because I love them both or something like that. This just sounds like weird events happened. They're all friends. They all get along. And it's just one of those you go back and make, yeah, this is so weird that it all shaped up like this.
I mean, I have some people like that I've slept with some people and I'm still friends with them, and they're dating other people now, and everything's cool. Like, there's no feelings about it one way or the other.
Yeah.
So especially if you don't feel like there's anything going on behind your back or anything, it sounds like you sound like you're perfectly secure. Then why do you feel uneasy then? I get just the weirdness factor, because that's understandable. It is a little weird.
Yeah.
I think from the way it sounds, is that it's a situation she's never dealt with before, and she hasn't met the best friend and the girlfriend. So then, that would make it weird. But yeah, it's just, and there's nothing that can be done other than just meet them, hang out, see how things play out, deal with it.
Feel secure. That's
if
all there
that's
is to
his
it.
best friend, you're gonna see these people in your life. Like,
Right.
that's a given.
It's his brother.
Brother. This is like the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan with Miss Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yep.
Why are we going there? Why are we going back to this?
Because you did the brother thing.
Yeah.
That's fair. Brother.
Oh, it's the madness. The macho madness.
Hold on a second. I can't do
Hold
my
on.
brother properly. I haven't done enough cocaine.
That's your wife? I had her for 3 minutes of playtime.
I'm glad we lost all of our maturity as we wrapped up discussing that sensitive
Goddamn
topic.
I had her for 3 minutes and 22 seconds. I beat your brother.
Well, that does wrap up this week's shortened installment of Unprotected Advice with one Mr. Willie D. Nelson. Willie, did you feel like it was good to get back into the swing of things?
You could say I'm satisfied.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you're satisfied. And we hope that our audience is also satisfied with this latest installment of this segment. It is one of our more fun ones to go and touch on as we get to be serious, offer some wisdom, but also have a couple laughs here and there. Not at the expense of those that are posting, though, more at the stupid shit that we say when trying to give good advice. That being said, it is time for us to begin wrapping things up. Before we do shut down the show, we have one last segment for you guys. It's a bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with those of you who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to go and check them out yourselves. Anthony, why don't you kick things off for us this week?
Let's see. I've been getting into yesterday celebrating Friday the 13th anniversary. May 9th, 1980 was the original It's Not Safe to Go Camping in the Woods because Mrs. Voorhees Will Kill You. And it was the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th. So watched a little Friday the 13th stuff and saw a whole bunch of the artists that I follow online doing a ton of Jason Voorhees artwork, which is funny because Jason's not in the first movie. Well, he is as a mutant kid at the end, but like he's not really in it. But yeah, so that was cool seeing that, it's been 40 years since that movie came out because damn, I feel old. And then watching the videos online and on his website. Did y'all see what Hapthor Bjornsson did this week? Who? The Mountain. You would probably know him better as The Mountain. Yeah. Eddie Hall, world strongman, back in 2016, set the deadlift record at 500 kilograms, which is 102 pounds, becoming the first person to ever lift that weight. This week, Sir Gregor Clegane, known as The Mountain, played by Hapthor Bjornsson, set a new deadlift world record, 501 kilograms. 1,104 pounds. So basically like half a truck. Like the dude is huge. Yeah, it is now the deadlift world record. No one's ever lifted that much in the history of humankind. And like the video is insane because like you see that much weight on the bar and it's one of those like bars that looks like a car axle and it's still bending as he's picking it up because there's so much fucking weight on it. But yeah, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out on his Instagram because it's on there, and it's on Instagram. He's Thor Bjornsson, so THORBJORNSSON.
I think you missed an umlaut in there.
Every letter has an umlaut. They all have umlauts.
I think all the U's have umlauts.
It's an awesome video because and like the guy's so inhumanly big, it's insane. Because he's listed at 6'9". Well, he's weighing in at 452 pounds now. So he weighs about as much as the Big Show, but it's much more muscle. Let's be honest. The Big Show's a great guy, but there's a little chunk in his trunk. Fucking Hapthor Bjornsson is all fucking muscle, and it is scary to watch him lift this weight. But yeah, that was an awesome video.
I mean, are you really surprised? I mean, he is a Dragonborn.
Yeah, like he is the Mountain. But yeah, it's a great video.
I saw it,
Go watch that. Yeah, he set that shit this week, and it's a cool video to watch because you can just see how fucking happy he is to lift this fucking weight, and it's clean too. Like there's no shaking, there's no fucking did he accidentally drop it too early. He fucking puts the wraps on, stands straight the fuck up, and looks at camera. He's like, "What?" And then fucking sets it back down. It is scary to see a human being lift that much. Other than that, yeah, I played. Actually got into some DBD after taking a couple weeks off. I actually was enjoying playing this week. It was amazing. I did a couple killer matches where I somehow at rank 12 didn't have rank 1 survivors in my fucking queue. I went and had a match and actually killed all full people and was like, what the fuck? That match actually was fun and it seemed kind of easy. And then I went to the summary at the end and I was like, oh, wow, all the survivors were between rank 10 and 14. They were actually near my fucking rank. Yeah, when that happens, the game is actually fun. So I don't know if they actually fixed matchmaking or if it just happened to be the time I was playing. But yeah, had some actual fun killer matches this week. Finished all of my killer challenges for the archive. I've got like the last 4 survivor challenges, I think. I think I'm still trying to break totems. I think I got that and like 4 other ones after that. But yeah, I've almost got all the Tome 1 stuff done. Yeah, it's just repetition, getting time in. And then yeah, played a bunch of the Apex Legends. The Battle Armor event, which was super cool. Because like those first 3 days where everybody just dropped with white armor and a gun. It was fun because you could drop hot knowing that you weren't going to instantly die. You weren't going to hit the ground. The person next to you grabs a gun, turns, and just melts you because you don't have a gun and armor. And so everybody having a gun and armor, like we were dropping hot more often, and then our team, like we'd focus fire one person and just take them out with pistols, and then take their armor to replace yours, and then go look for their teammates. So I think it changed the way for a battle royale. It changed the way it plays. But then, man, once that third thing hit, when you dropped and everybody had purple armor, you can't tear through that shit with a pistol. That shit takes too long. And so the fights were taking forever on the days when everybody had purple armor. And then, yesterday the matches were just evil because everybody dropping with Evo. If a team pops off and gets 6 kills real quick, they might go from white armor to red after 2 fights, and you're still in blue or purple, and so their armor's twice as strong as yours, and you get into a fight with them. Like, it got nuts, and some of the end game fights were getting really long. But yeah, it made for, I mean, it made for, a fun way of changing the game and just keeping things interesting, which I think is the thing I've loved the most about Apex, is that they've never been stale. They've never been stagnant. The game's really only been out for like a month or a year and like 3 months now. And they've done everything they can to keep the game moving forward, making changes, making weapon changes, making character changes, introducing lore, making changes to the map. It's kept the game interesting as shit to me. So yeah, I've been enjoying the hell out of that. And then I'm on my second full playthrough of No Man's Sky, and went back and just deleted my old game, started over again, because they've made so many changes to the game that it was just easier to start over. And now I have the exosuit that I can call from an orbital drop for my freighter. So it's great. You fly into a new system, fly your plane down to a planet, hop out of your plane, and you can look up into the sky and call your freighter into the space above just into the system that you're in. And as long as your freighter's in the system, you can then pull up your menu and request your exosuit be dropped from orbit. And so it just drops this giant mech for you. You crawl into it, and you're basically invincible. Makes it so much fun to just run around the planets, check stuff out, doing the mining stuff, and then just building bases and stuff. All the updates they've made to that game, it's so much fun now that I'm glad I was one of those ones. Luckily, I didn't play the early version of it, and so I have no complaints about No Man's Sky, because when I bought the game, it was already awesome because they'd done the huge update and made all the changes, and since then it's just gotten better. And honestly, I'm in the handful of 10 people left in the world that are hoping that Anthem does the same thing, because that's the rumor that keeps getting kicked around, but we haven't seen any actual changes yet. Hey, it's possible. They said the same thing about No Man's Sky. They said that game was dead, and right now it is a fantastic game. So yeah, those are basically the three things I've been playing, and then watching a bunch of just Netflix shows and stuff, just burning through series one at a time. And I started rewatching The Mandalorian because I hadn't watched the whole thing. And then I actually rewatched on Star Wars Day. I rewatched The Rise of Skywalker, which I really enjoyed because Babu Freak is fucking awesome, and he's my favorite Star Wars character.
Baba Yaga.
No, Babu Freak. Yay! So yeah, Baba that's Yaga. What I've been getting into.
I'll go next. I've been playing far too much Animal Crossing. We'll just leave it at that. I completely redid big chunk of my island, dumped 160 some odd hours in there. It's a problem. I did also
I'm surrounded by turnip addicts.
It's true. I did start watching on Hulu Justin Roiland's new show, and I cannot remember the name of it all of a sudden to save my life. I only watched the first episode of it. The main character sounds like Rick, and it throws me off a little bit, but I think I like it. I'm going to watch some more of it. I don't like it as much as Rick and Morty yet, but I've only watched one episode, so it's interesting. Watched the Clone Wars finale. Holy shit. That was really good. They tie everything up in a bow, and I did not expect the character I saw at the end to show up on screen in Clone Wars.
Solar opposites.
That's it. Solar opposites.
I knew it was a play on words. I just couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, because I've seen the preview for it, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
And I am still finishing up this most recent week's episode of AEW Dynamite as they went back to live filming episodes, in which the main event was Les Sex Gods, Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega and Broken Matt Hardy in a street fight. And it supposedly was really good. And at one point in time, Matt Hardy's changing personalities in the middle of this street fight, going from Broken Matt Hardy back to version 1.0 from his WWE days, back to Broken Matt Hardy again because of how they did this street fight. So evidently he starts playing schizophrenic and changing characters, changing costumes to do it. And I just want to see all of this. It sounds intriguing to me. The Broken Matt Hardy gimmick is one of my favorite of recent time, though. So I'm
a lot of it made it on YouTube already. I've seen a chunk of it. It's pretty good. There's a golf cart involved.
Yeah, they start running people down in golf carts at one point in time. And
they're having car wrecks.
Matt Hardy starts asking Kenny Omega if he wants to be a spot monkey, and if so, please indulge and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. I really did enjoy it. But I've been doing that. Watching Community reruns on Netflix because that's just fun when I'm working on other things around the house. I'm still holding out hope that maybe we get that movie from these 6 seasons in a movie hashtag. That being said, they did do a table read, which I think comes out this week as a COVID-19 fundraiser. They brought back almost everyone except for Walter Goggins to do a table read of an episode of season 5 of Community on Zoom. And I'm looking forward to reading that. And I guess as part of Ken Jeong and Joel McHale's podcast, they recorded, after they did that table read, they recorded a bunch of stuff on Zoom of them just hanging out and released it under the Darkest Timeline podcast. And I only watched a little bit of it. It looked like they're having a bunch of fun. And Donald Glover at one point in time is like, man, we should start up a group chat thread. And they're like, oh, we already have one.
Do we have one? We haven't all been busy with Star Wars, motherfucker.
Yeah. They're like, we figured you'd be too busy. That's why we didn't put you in it. And they all just started laughing. So it was kind of fun to see that gang back together again for probably the first time as a group like that in years. And they're all a funny group. I can't wait to go and view the table read of the season 5 episode. It's the one where Pierce Hawthorne's will is read. So that's why they didn't have to bring Chevy Chase back for it, because Pierce is dead.
Yeah, it's the bequeathment episode.
Yes. That's what I've been getting into, though. Mr. Nelson, Mr. Willie Nelson, what you been getting into, buddy?
I finally got my 5-star Animal Crossing island, so I'm just waiting on my Lily of the Valley to come in. Got a lot of flowers watered yesterday. I'm just shy of a couple different color variations, so that'd be nice. That'd be very nice. Very, very nice. Playing some Dead by Daylight as well myself. I did play a little bit of Killer myself, and you gotta love it when somebody throws a pallet down on you, and it doesn't even hit you. It just stops you, and then they teabag on it constantly, and then you down them right after it because they're just that dumb.
There you go.
It's like, you don't be toxic. I mean, although I will say I was teabagging a lot on one Killer because they were a straight up face camper. And
teabag away then.
Yeah.
And then for some reason my play style was just counteracting their play style, and they just couldn't catch me. So a lot of times I was just like, you know what, fuck you, if you want to play like that, here's what I'm doing. I'm teabagging constantly, and you ain't gonna hit me for it. I mean, I don't like it. I really don't like it. But in that situation, like, if you're gonna be that toxic, I'm gonna be that toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you breed what you sow. Yeah, that's the saying.
Sure.
I started watching Happy, and I think I'm like 4 episodes in. That's a good show so far.
That's crazy.
Surprised it was on Sci-Fi. I'm sorry, CP. Very surprised. What else did I get into?
Remember, Sippy used to do pro wrestling though too, so it's really not a Sci-Fi channel anymore.
Yeah, it hasn't been a Sci-Fi channel in a long time.
No, I'm just amazed that they get away with some of that stuff that's on there.
Oh, okay, I'm tracking then. Makes sense.
Yeah, like some of the more risky, like the whole Shining blowjob thing. That showed up. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some creepy shit in that show that I can't believe they even got away with it on cable.
That's what I was getting at. I've been meaning to and failing really hard at trying to watch some movies. I really need to just focus and rent Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Still have not done.
It's on Amazon Prime if you have that right now, so you don't even have to pay.
So I don't have to rent. Fair enough.
Oh, that's right. That reminds me. I watched Underwater. That movie's not that bad.
Was it all underwater?
Mm-hmm.
So
the whole thing is underwater.
The Abyss.
Yeah, it's like the summer of 1989 all over again.
Or
underwater movie.
Sphere. Or Deep Blue Sea.
No, it was The Abyss, Leviathan, and Deep Star 6. All 3 came out in the summer of 1989.
Never saw Leviathan.
Leviathan was good. Russian DNA monster.
Yeah, I think I saw it on there, and I think I watched part of it. I was like, it's not catching me. I'm just going to go this way. So, other than that, it's been failing at watching a couple movies I've been wanting to watch. I still want to see Bloodshot. Still haven't yet to do so.
I rewatched it. It's not bad.
You re-rented it for $20?
No, I bought it.
Oh, I was kidding.
Like Google Play, survey money.
Oh yeah, Google. I haven't got any surveys in a long while. I even forgot all about it.
Go anywhere for
if you don't go anywhere, it doesn't pop up a survey for the places you went because you haven't gone anywhere.
I mean, I'm sorry, there's still drive-throughs open.
Yeah, but I haven't left the house.
You can still order from people.
Yeah, but ordering stuff to be delivered doesn't tell Google that I ordered food. So,
right.
I mean, they're listening. They just can't admit that they're listening.
No,
I rewatched Bloodshot. It's actually not bad at all. Like if they did the rest of the Valiant universe like with that same style, that same like directing cast,
Don't know
I'd
anything
be
about
okay
it.
with it.
Want to go blind?
No, it's another comic book universe. Bloodshot hung
Is
out
it
with other
based on a
characters.
comic book?
Yeah, there's a character called Bloodshot. It's a comic book movie.
Okay, didn't know it was based on that. All right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's one of those things where they did it smart. They did it like Iron Man 1. They did not try to build it into a universe. They didn't call it the Valiant Universe movie number 1. They didn't try any of that bullshit. They just made a Bloodshot movie, and it works. And so then if it works well enough, they can make more and add on to the universe. But they didn't come out the gate saying, this is our new comic book universe. Yeah, they just made a movie, and it's a good movie. So yeah, if the same, like literally, if the same director and script writers of those guys went and did Ninjak like next year, I would be excited to see it because they do a good job with Bloodshot.
Sorry, I don't speak French. Ninja.
Ninjak.
But I don't think I. Oh yeah, I did host the because I had a large spike on Animal Crossing for turnip prices, and I hosted some people and got some cool monies and some cool items. And somebody a day early, because I wasn't sure when I was gonna get the 5 stars, gave me a gold watering can. You're looking at someone who has 3 gold roses. Oh yeah. And I don't know how, but gold roses are a lot more easier to make than blue roses. Someone explain that to me.
Because Nintendo.
Oh, you mean like how Nintendo doesn't know how to do their own line?
Yeah, we've discussed that many times.
Yeah. I'm just reiterating it because it needs to be done.
That's fair.
Get your shit together, Nintendo. Hire people that know how to run the internet, part of this. I mean, come on, just hire people. You got more than enough money. I think I saw, even if they went into the red, for like 50 years, there's just from the Wii profit alone, they're still going to be good to go.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, just hire people to solve this problem for you since you can't do it. And that's all I got. I'm done. I'm out of here.
He's out. You got nothing. That being said,
I'm pulling out of here.
We are about to get out of here, too. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this week for a brand new episode of the All Things Good Nerdy Show. We do this live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern at 10 a.m. Central over at geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. Before we shut this thing down, any final thoughts from you, gentlemen?
Fight teabag with teabag, like Liberty Dude says.
It's not wrong. Not wrong at
all. Stroke your donger.
God. Really? That's the thought we're going out of here on?
I don't remember what we were talking about dongers for.
That was the D in your middle name. Bye, guys. Go say hi to your moms.
Donger.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.